Colin McRae Rally 2.0 was an improvement on the first game, and in my review of that game I said that Codemasters fixed everything that was wrong with the game from 1998. But they also added a lot more content, which I think they really didn't need to do. What I forgot to mention in that review is that Colin McRae Rally 2.0 wasn't that realistic. It did have better graphics, but the physics weren't that good, and it actually made the cars horrible to drive, especially the rear-wheel drive and the Group B cars. The issue was that the cars seemed to steer from the centre and not from the front wheels. Colin McRae Rally 2.0 received a Gold Sales Award from the Entertainment and Leisure Software Publishers Association, selling over 200,000 copies in the UK. Reviewers at the time really liked the game, giving it 8s and 9s out of 10, and so Codemasters decided to make a third game in the series for PC and the then upcoming PlayStation 2 and Xbox. I'm reviewing the Xbox version of the game. Colin McRae Rally 3 was released on the 25th of October 2002 on the PlayStation 2 in Europe, the 18th of February 2003 on the Xbox, and the 22nd of April 2003 on the PlayStation 2 in North America. I still don't understand why it took Codemasters so long to release Colin McRae 3 in North America, as the second game sold quite well. It might have something to do with the fact that the second game was released in 2001 in the US, only 2 years before. When you get into the championship, you are driving as Colin McRae, even though you have to put your name in at the beginning of the championship. This also means that you are limited to the Ford Focus WRC rally car that Colin drove at the time. I'm okay with this for two reasons. The Ford Focus is one of my favourite rally cars from the early 2000s, and it was the fastest car at the time. But I think Colin McRae had a lot to do with that. Cars are a little bit harder to drive in this game as they are in, I don't know, let's say Dirt Rally 2.0. Because the physics are so different to the Dirt series. As I've already said in my Colin McRae Rally 2.0 review, cars don't turn from the front wheels. The car kind of pivots around corners. In Colin McRae Rally 3 that is still a thing, but it's not as bad. Even though it's not as bad, it's still very annoying, and it took me a while to get used to the way the car's handled. There are 8 locations in the game. They are Sweden, Japan, United Kingdom, Finland, Spain, Australia, the USA, and Greece. There's a really nice variety of environments, and I'm not talking about their geographical locations. What I mean is that there aren't too many tracks with the same weather and surfaces. I'm glad that Codemasters continued to leave out Austria, but I think that's because Austria wasn't on the 2002 WRC calendar. I have nothing against the country in real life, but in the first Colin McRae Rally, it was terrible, and it's one of the main reasons why I don't like that game. The tracks all look amazing, and they are a huge step up from what we got in the first 2 games, but that isn't surprising as they were on the PlayStation 1. Then we get to the car list. I do like the car list, but it is a bit small. You get some of the WRC cars from the 2002 season, such as the Subaru Impreza and the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 7, but it is missing some cars such as the Peugeot 206 and the Hyundai Accent. Group A cars are also missing except for the Subaru Impreza 22B. I know that Group A had just been replaced at the time of this game being released, but it would have been nice to drive them. There are some Group B cars such as the Lancia 037 and the Austin Metro 6R4. There are also some bonus cars as well. Actually, I should say some bonus vehicles, as some of them aren't even cars, such as the Ford Transit and the FMC M113, which is a tank. It isn't a full-size tank, as it wouldn't be able to fit on the rally stage, and I think you might need a cheat disc to unlock it, which is how you're being able to see it in this review. Overall, I'm going to give Colin McRae Rally 3 a 5 out of 10. Even though the car list is small, I think it is the best aspect of the game, because it might not have all of the WRC cars from the 2002 season. Codemasters made up for that by adding cars from the motorsports history and vehicles that you usually wouldn't find in a racing game. The game is challenging, but I think that's mainly down to the physics, and I've never fully got used to them. Codemasters should have sorted out the whole steering from the middle of the car issue. That is my main problem with the game, and it kind of ruins it, and that's why I'm only going to give it a 5 out of 10. I don't recommend playing this game unless you're playing through all of the Colin McRae Rally games like I am. If you want to play a game like it, then I recommend playing Colin McRae Rally 04 instead. That is a much better game. This has been my review of Colin McRae Rally 3 on the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox. Oh, and it was also on PC as well. If you liked this review, then please give it a like. If you didn't, then give it a dislike, and if you want to see more, then please consider subscribing. Goodbye.